You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Evette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These jet-setting divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hey, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Evette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies, what's going on in the world of travel?
Just all kind of stuff going on.
I mean, you know what? Travel is the news. Travel is the, it has taken over and consumed every part of our life. And, not that we're some breaking reporters, but, another plane crash. Another plane has crashed.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I kind of just saw the headline. So
Yeah.
what did y'all see? What is it? What is this about?
Yeah, it's pretty new. I think it happened in Louisville, Kentucky, probably around like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time. And this was a UPS plane, and there were three crew members on board. But the casualties are expected because their airport sits in the middle of the city. So it sits kind of like right in the middle of city and work, town, businesses and stuff like that. So it crashed in pretty much the middle of downtown Louisville.
Yeah, I've been there, Louisville, Kentucky. I think I've been to that airport.
Yeah, and so
airport. So yeah.
So they have people sheltered in place. They're asking them to turn off their gas, turn off power, water, whatever, because they need all those resources for the fires and they don't want any explosions. So I know that. So they have a shelter in place order right now. But it makes you just think about, I know I live less than 10 miles from an airport right now. And I hear crash, bang, boom all the time, but you don't know if it's a transformer or this. And, just imagine a plane flying into your neighborhood. And, that is
it's scary.
The scariest thing to think about. Are people
did this plane go into a neighborhood or was it at the airport?
It was at the airport, but they have, they have those downtown, they have high rise, they have a lot of high rise apartments. This is your, people where people live. I don't know how far the closest neighborhood was, but they are bracing for whatever the impact is because they don't know. It just happened some hours ago. So it's just a scary thing to think that, they probably on all these deadlines, hurry. Did they miss a protocol? Did they hit another plane? I don't even know what the situation is, but what we know so far is there was a plane crash. That's it. And
I didn't read anything up on it, so I can't really, tell our listeners anything about it. But yeah, that is devastating. It's sad.
What did you hear, Jeanette?
I think I heard about that one, but I think there was another smaller single airplane crash in Indiana, Anderson, Indiana, and that was a smaller airplane. It was it was a single person in that airplane, and they died.
No,
in
see.
that airplane. I think this airplane crash was maybe an hour outside of Indianapolis.
Mhm.
So this was something else that happened maybe around noon today.
Yeah.
So that was another airplane crash today.
And I saw something about like Air India, that there was also a plane crash, Air India. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
exactly when. It looked like maybe it happened yesterday or late yesterday. I don't know, maybe 11 hours ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just not. Remember, we started off the year. We started off the year with a plane crash, and here we are, 11 months into the year, and we're still talking about plane crash. That's just a scary thing. When we would go years and years without even
Yeah.
talking about a
Mm-hmm.
plane
Yeah.
crashing. So what has changed? What has changed in our?
What was the plane crash when we started off at the beginning? You said
It was in DC. And remember in DC where that army plane
American, yeah.
hit? Yeah, I mean, it killed all those people aboard. That's how we started off the year. We started off the year with a plane crash, and we're still, every month, every few weeks, we're talking about this. And what has happened. Yeah, we have a new administration who have their own ideology about air traffic and FTA and all of these different types of things. But what has changed so much that we're just constantly hearing this?
Well, we're dealing with right now with air traffic control not getting paid, so they're not able to, look at the planes and like they are short staffed. So
Yeah,
it
short
could
staff.
be that could be a problem also right now.
I mean, it's so
I
few
think
of
too
them.
that this whole and I don't want to put down this administration, but I think this whole administration has not taken they have not taken they have not taken security as critical, and they haven't put it as at the forefront as much as the prior administration did. And we've saw the extent of what's happened. As soon as they came in, we start having more things happening. So
Yeah,
I mean that's what we're seeing, exactly what's happening.
this is
They had
safety.
they don't have safety at the concern.
Yeah,
They have other concerns. They're more concerned about money
yeah.
than safety.
Yeah, and that's just that's scary to me, because we get on planes all the time, and we want to feel comfortable knowing that the people flying the planes, the people guiding the planes, the people on the ground, that they do think about people's safety. And if they are skipping steps or missing protocols or not getting all of the completing all the regulatory things, then you know what? Who fault is it? Is us for getting on the planes, or them for having to, do it? I don't know. It's just it has become this who's on first to me, because I'm like, I want to get on a plane now. At least I want to get on a plane and feel comfortable knowing that I'm gonna make it to my destination safely. Not that it's going to be, I gotta worry about if the pilot is getting arrested or got arrested or got enough sleep or drink, or the people on the ground get paid. There's so many things we got to think about before we get on the plane, putting our lives in their hands. It's pretty much what we are now.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And people, the people that are the passengers that are on the plane, once we land, they are so great. Like we walk through the aisles, through the galleys, through the rows or whatever, and looking, and it kind of feel uncomfortable because you just kind of like looking at people, and they be like how many times you gonna come through here?
Mm-hmm.
But when they get off the plane, they're grateful and thankful. They be like, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
They
You are thankful. I'm grateful. Shoot.
Absolutely.
My number one prayer is, Heavenly Father, let me get to my destination and everybody here safely, the same way I left, and back home. I want to be back home the same way I left. I don't even ask for nothing super to happen. I just want to get back safe. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
And I kind of really didn't understand that before, because I had a different mentality or whatever. And then I was like, these people are really thankful that you looking out for them and that you are, making sure that they are safe. They really are,
Yeah.
People get on the plane, you all, and this is what they do. I've noticed they'll hit the plane. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this. They'll get on and they'll like they praying.
They praying.
Yeah.
I know I am. I am praying until the time we take off and get into the sky.
They take their hand and they'll hit the plane a few times. And I've seen the Father Son. I done seen it so many times.
Yeah. Yeah, because because we putting our, I'm a person that I allow, to take control of my life as God. So, here I am letting somebody be the, guiding me. I don't know how to fly the plane. I can't stop and get off in the middle of the air. I'm like, I'm trusting you for 3, 4, 5 hours of my life, that you're gonna get me there safely. Yeah. And that's not just a pilot. I'm talking about everybody involved in getting it up in the air to time to get back down. Because in a car, it's my fault. In the plane, you know what? I have no control.
But one thing that you talked to us about this week that kind of scared me was that you said a lot of times the planes are actually they're on autopilot, so they're flying themselves. Because I think you said that the pilot this week they had to go to the restroom and you were in there monitoring
Jeanette, I don't know
things.
if you was mistaken. It's always a pilot and a co-pilot. It's always a captain and a first officer. There's another pilot in there. Like I don't really know, and I need to ask that question. But you can't, when a pilot comes out of the flight deck, a flight attendant always have to go into the flight deck.
I seen that in the movies.
You can't and there's somebody else in there. I'm not in there by myself. No, ma'am. I'm not in there by myself, but they just be sitting there and we just be having conversation and the plane just be flying.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think about all of this AI that we continue to talk about, this stuff is, people can take control. The autopilot is based off an AI or automated system. And think about it. We don't want nobody to get control of our, autopilots and, different data systems. Because that could be just, that could be a tragedy.
I don't really feel comfortable with that because I know about computers and bugs.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of computers up there, and that pilot or the first officer is watching and making sure those computers are, doing what they're supposed to do, going in the direction they're supposed to do. They're watching. They're sitting.
But it's a computer. But that's the problem. It's a computer. A computer can be infiltrated. A computer can be, taking control of,
Or it could have a bug in it. It could just have a bug where it does. It has
it could be spyware. Yeah, because I mean, it's that. But that's why you have your air traffic controllers. So if something has happened, but I'm just saying, someone can take control because of the society we live. They can just take control over a plane, even while they looking. You can, unless you can disconnect from technology and they can go into some manual process. Immediately. That's where the pilot is going to be like key. But right now, I'm like, I'm still, when they're testing nuclear bombs and doing this and doing all this stuff, it is crazy that they know, because of all of these systems that can tell where your location is. They know people know where the plane is, and I'm like, okay, as long as I'm safe.
They know where the plane is, and the air traffic control can tell you whether you can land now or not.
Yeah.
They know the traffic. Yeah. That's coming into the airport. It may be times when you just got to loop around a few times before you can actually land because the traffic is, it has too many planes coming in. Or when you see delays, when flights are delayed, they don't want you to leave because there's too many planes coming in the particular airport that you're going to. Yeah. So they want you to kind of slow down and they delay your flight because there's too many planes coming in at that time. And that a delay can be many, many different things. It can be, that what I just talked about. It could be, that the plane came in late from somewhere else it's just natural, and people get all upset about the delays, whatever. But your safety is first.
Yeah.
If the plane is delayed, it's just delayed. Let the plane be delayed because they're doing it for your safety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I definitely know that, my hearts kind of go out to Louisville, Kentucky, and all that they're going through. And, I'm really, really, hoping that we can once again get a handle on, this safety and security that's, impacting these planes from making it to their destination. Or, I didn't heard motors turn off, motors, blow out. It's been so many things that it's like, these are things you plan for in disaster recovery. Now, you plan for one engine to go out. You plan for, fuel reserve. They plan for so many things, but, how do they, understand what is really going on, where some of these planes are actually, stopping midair, exploding, blowing up, whatever, catching on fire, all of these things that's happening, it's always something to, consider that, what has
a plane only needs one engine to fly. If the other ones go out, it still can go.
Yeah,
but we still can make it to their destination.
Yeah, but we still need to understand why is it happening so much now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like. It's happening way more than I was like.
These companies need to make sure that they are putting these planes into maintenance.
Yeah.
On a regular schedule.
Yeah. So they really need to make sure that they are training the people appropriately that's doing these checks. And I know that short staff, and then they don't, they're not being paid, or I don't know if they're also considered, government employees, but if you're not paying, these people are checking the planes.
Yes. The pilot really is responsible for the plane, and if something is wrong with it, I done been in so many planes. Maintenance come on before it takes off. Mm-hmm. Maintenance comes on and checks that plane. People don't know. Maintenance comes on and checks that plane. The co-pilot, they have a duty to walk the plane and see if something is wrong with it. They go out on the ground and make sure, and maintenance does come on, and they check and make sure that plane is ready to fly.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. They really are checking these planes.
That's good.
But what I'm saying is, if they checking these planes, but they not getting paid, are they really checking these planes? They checking the box.
They are, because that heard that they aren't getting paid. So hopefully they are a part of the staff that is getting paid. But what do you all feel about? Because all I'm hearing in the news is that all the flights are being delayed. Everything's being delayed.
I'm a plan ahead type person. We know that TSA might possibly be busy. So if you go at noon and you got a flight at 1 o'clock, 2:30 or 2 o'clock, you know what you're getting yourself into. So you got to plan ahead, go early, plan earlier flights. I just always say plan ahead.
Well, I don't know. I flew over the weekend, not working, but just personally, in DFW and Hobby, and I had no problems at all whatsoever. I didn't see anything that was a problem. Nothing at all whatsoever. So, I mean, I don't know. I just see things on the news. And then I have read some things about, some articles saying flight is taking 3 hours to get through the line or whatever. And I see comments of people saying,
didn't take me
no, I went through in like 10 minutes, or I went through in like 15 minutes. That's why I think it's fake. Because
I would say it's fake. I think it's
they were saying it's IAH.
Yes, IAH too.
What I would say it's not. I wouldn't say it was fake. I think it may be someone's opinion. So if somebody from the news came there, they're not actually going through security. So how the heck all the people standing out there waiting to go through security? They may be a part of some large group going to a conference, for all we know. So that's why I was saying I wouldn't say it's fake. I just don't think that they have the hands-on experience. So the comments are the things you do need to be looking for in those articles, because sometimes I've seen several people that said I had no problem. I just walked through.
90% of the comments are like, Oh, I just went on through and it took me like 15 minutes. 90% of the comments.
Yeah.
So the pictures and stuff that they are showing on the news, I think it's just something from long time ago that they trying to discourage people for some reason.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I think what they're trying to do is end the shutdown. I think the government wants the shutdown
They may
to
be
end.
doing that.
So they want the Democrats to end the shutdown. They want them to go ahead and negotiate about this.
The shutdown. I mean, you still want.
They want them to negotiate about this. I mean, this affordable health care. And so they want them to negotiate about that.
Just say we're gonna let the government open back up, and we're gonna have seniors and children that are not having food. They're gonna go.
They want them to negotiate about this health care.
They're gonna go after Social Security. They're gonna start going after everything because it's kind of stand your ground. I understand. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's what they want them to negotiate.
Boycott that's that went on. It was supposed to be for a couple of days, went on for years, but a year because they felt like they're gonna finally get tired. Well, you know what? If the Democrats are holding it up, they're holding it up so that people
they're holding it up for the people, for the health care. That's what because they're saying if people don't have their health care, they could possibly die. So that's what they're holding it up for a good reason. But
so it is a stand your ground. So this may be like any other like boycott and tell y'all, this may go on.
But the unfortunate part is that they're holding it up for a lot of the Republicans, and a lot of these same Republicans voted for they voted against their own well-being.
Yeah.
they voted for someone who is now taking who is increasing the cost of their health care.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those sad situations where you did it to yourself. They did it to themselves.
You did this to yourself. You voted for someone who is now ending your own, because they said Obamacare is used by more Republicans than Democrats, and they voted for something that now they voted for someone who is ending their own health care.
They didn't vote for something. Yeah, they voted for someone, and they thought that person was going to get them all of these things that they already have plus some. Now they realize that person doesn't care about.
And he's ending their health care, which could end their lives. And now the Democrats are coming in trying to help them.
Yeah. So, but they, hey, again, sometimes we got to go through this kind of pain in order to get to the prosperity that we need. And and arrogance is not a way to run a country. So, if you arrogant and you have a king syndrome, then you can't run this country like that because everybody else is not in the same socioeconomic status as you. Yeah. It ain't about. This is not a business. This is not a business. This is not The Apprentice. For some reason, this is not. So, I think again, we just have to band together and help as much as we can. Because this is gonna be, look at it like any other protest we've been through. We might be in here for a while.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. And it looks like we possibly are. Yeah. And they're saying possibly the next thing is that we can have that. They're saying maybe next week we'll have certain airspaces may be shut down. So we may have certain parts of the country, and this may be something we'll have to look into next week. Mm-hmm. Maybe certain parts of the country we may not be able to even fly planes into certain parts of the country. That may be something happening next week.
They're limiting flights or changing flight patterns, where they were flying to all these different cities. Now they're not. I'm like, they're not even flying to half the cities that they were flying to some of these airlines before. So, it's every day is news.
Right.
The travel news may really get crazy next week.
Yeah, and all we can say is this news is as good as it is as we're speaking, and as soon as we get off the air, this is probably gonna be old news.
Right.
So this has been that kind of day. So I guess we'll see. We'll keep everybody posted.
Well, I'm Jeanette,
and I'm Evette,
and I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Small business owners, listen up. It's your girl, J.E.T, and I wanted to make sure you knew that round 2 of the Promise Act is happening right now. It's the state-funded small business revitalization program that offers grants and loans to entrepreneurs like us. There's more than $60 million up for grabs for businesses located in certain parts of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and greater Minnesota. That's right, you heard me, 60 million with an M. Now, I know you don't want to leave that money on the table, so go to mnpromiseact.org to get more info. Now listen, don't delay and wait until the last minute. You've got until December 14th to fill out the online application. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to grow your business.
Ready to go? At Metro Transit, we are. With more routes to more places, easy ways to pay, and more convenient options, we're ready to go further. Go easier. Go faster. Go, go, go. And go. We're ready to go. Are you?